Alright, this is a foreigner living in the Philippines. We're right here on our hilltop home in Bohol. We're far up in the mountains, actually, very isolated, and lots of things get made in a natural way. This is my mother-in-law, and what we've got is we've got a need now for the hens, who are indicating, apparently by the way that they talk, that they're going to start laying soon. So this is a way of utilizing the leaves. What tree is this from, honey?
Coconut.
This is the coconut tree. So by doing this, we have something that's very user-friendly as far as the hens go. And my mother-in-law will make a small laying basket for the hens. And you can see now how she's using this now. She splits and joins each one by this thread that runs through. There's a strong thread. If you focus on this, my honey, if you focus on this here, she gets this, and she actually pierces each leaf as it goes through onto the next one. If you can focus on the way that Nana is doing that. See? This is the way that it's been done, obviously, for countless generations. My mother-in-law, who everybody calls Nanay. Nanay is the word in Visayan for mother, and it just seems like she is everybody's mom. All of the grandchildren just call her mother, call her Nanay. And Nanay has been doing this and living on this hilltop home for 50 years. When she came here 50 years ago, there was very little. In fact, her husband built a small shelter for them to survive in, and that they did. And the house behind is the house that is almost in the original condition, except that instead of the bamboo cover, can you see that, honey? Instead of that bamboo cover covering the whole house, that was removed and plywood was put onto the outside of the house. They extended the back as well to make a bigger kitchen, but apart from that, things are pretty original here. The motorcycle obviously is a recent thing, as is this extension that we made to cover the bike. But the way that everything else has been built, if you look at the chicken and turkey coop, that's all been done in the rustic style by my brother-in-law Manarado. And Manarado is an expert at doing that kind of carpentry. And if you look over here, it's another video that we'll be doing, which is a carport for the truck. The weather here is brutal on paintwork. Our bike looks like it's 5 years old, but actually it's only just over a year old. And we just have this truck. I've only just taken delivery of this truck, and we don't want that to go the same way as the bike. But you can see that my mother-in-law now is doing pretty good. No, this happens very fast. She's very quick on this. Yeah, see those hands? Those hands have done this so many times, year in, year out. So we're a little further on now. Nana is almost down the whole length of that leaf. We're going to use this as a natural rope. This was peeled. This is bark that was peeled from the wood that's been used on our rustic carport. So, but you'll use this. So obviously when you're so high up in the mountains and so isolated, the more that you can use natural resources, the better. And going in and buying rope when you can actually make this and it will do the job. That's obviously a big plus. Every penny saved is a huge deal out there. When I had my workshop built, which is up there, I really wanted it to be, rustic, you know, so that it would fit in with the scenery. Although our house is not, I built a house of metal stud, but that's another video. So my mother-in-law now is ready to shape the first of the little nests that she makes for the hens. I'm a city boy myself. I'm not into all of the farming things. I did tell my wife when we came up here to live that I don't do pigs, I don't do hens or turkeys, and I don't do gardening. I build the house. So I don't know about all of this. Personally, I listen to the hens and chickens around the place. If you ever listen to chickens have a conversation, you'll know that it's the most boring thing in the entire universe. So here we are. Now that huge thing that she's using to cut there is a bolo. My wife's family calls it the sword, but maybe that's just the English translation. But Filipinos are experts at the use of the bolo. I'm going to bend this round into a circular nest. That would have to help, but I think I would probably be quite useless.
You know, coconut has a lot of use, you know.
Coconut?
Yeah, the leaves and also, you know, other part, all the coconut's parts are very useful.
Well, we're going to do a video on my wife, who is saying that she can climb the coconut tree. She suggested, in a moment of foolishness, she suggested that I should climb a coconut tree. I told her that the quickest way to see me as a pancake at the bottom of the coconut tree is to persuade me to try and climb up it. Just have a look at some of the coconut trees.
Yeah, very tall.
What about this one that's just above the workshop, Mum?
Yeah, it's also tall. I can do that. But you told me that I choose as not a tall one.
That's
So let's find
actually, that's a lie. I didn't tell you you could do it as long as it wasn't a tall one, because after you've dropped 10 feet, it doesn't really matter. You know, you go above 10 feet, and if you fall, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I can do it. Okay.
Well, we're going to see it.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not the
for the love of my husband, I'll do it because I need I want you to drink fresh buko.
Now
Okay.
that's the other thing.
So I'll get fresh buko for you.
The juice from the coconut is called buku, B-U-K-U, and the juice of it is medicinal as well as very tasty. My wife always says that it's good for, is it kidneys, honey?
Yeah, that's what they said. It's good for cleansing the kidney.
Right. And it does taste very good. The inside of the coconut, from the western point of view, whenever I had a coconut, it was always that hard interior to the coconut. That's when the coconut is at a different stage and is hardened. The way that we get the coconut from the tree right now, when we slice the husk open and go through to the coconut, that's when it's very soft, and that you can have inside with the drink. And I think that we're getting fairly close here. So you can see that It's actually forming into what we would think of as a nest kind of shape. And all using that natural bark rope.
Yeah, yeah. So how was it, Nanay? Are you almost finished, Nanay? Not yet. Oh, oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's just like a hair, you know. You're going to tie it.
Actually, it seems a shame that with the advent of these bigger stores that you can go to, it's very gradual, especially out here in Bohol, which is kind of underdeveloped compared to, say, Cebu, or certainly compared to Manila, where they have huge stores. But out here, not quite so much. But eventually it will come, and it will be so easy to go down and buy something that will do this job. That this will be one of the traditional skills that will be lost, and that seems a shame. At that point now where we're bringing the whole thing together, a little bit like a goat tying a ponytail.
Do you think I'm enough on that? If I'm going to hide, Han?
Can you hide in there?
Yeah?
No, I don't think so. No. We'll make a bigger one for you. Okay. So we hang this up in the chicken coop, which I never go into.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't do chickens or turkeys or pigs. That's what would happen.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Right. Now whenever I go into a taffy, which is the nearest very small town, the smallest is a taffy, and the larger one, which has more facilities, is Taliban. But Taliban is almost 20 kilometers away, and a taffy is only 6, so if I can, I go down to a taffy. And I do see there are places that do this kind of weaving of natural materials that they can gather, and they make them for all kinds of cages, for lobster, crab, and all that kind of fishing.
Yeah, and that one is made of bamboo.
And they make those of bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed there's a big industry of making the outriggers for the boats that they make here. The boats can be made quite narrow, and they're made of plywood and then treated with an epoxy paint. But the outriggers go across, so you have the narrow canoe almost shape, and then going out over it, which gives it the stability, they have these long pieces of specially curved bamboo, which they curve that by heating the bamboo, and then they sell those to the boat builders. So it looks like Nana is pretty well done on this.
Nana, it seems she's having difficulty on it. Or maybe she was just,
See, I've handed the rope to Nana, so I'm a huge help around here. These natural skills are being developed.
don't you think if you can do it on your own now?
Absolutely, and I will, but probably off camera, my dear. Now I'm guessing that in the West we'd have to do it all tidy, and those end pieces would have to be cut off, and so it was all even, and no such thing here. They're bent over, and that forms a piece on the bottom that makes the whole thing even stronger.
Okay, it's finished now. You show you.
So that's our
Oh, very good.
little demo. Our little demo of making a nest. Of making a nest, if the rooster will allow me to speak, of making a nest so that the chickens can go in there and lay us some eggs. So you've been watching a foreigner living in the Philippines. Thank you for watching. You can find me on Facebook, terence.flannery@gmail.com, and we also are on GoFundMe. So look us up and hopefully you'll make a donation. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Nanay, bye-bye, Nanay. Nanay.
Bye-bye.